As Maggie was going through the dark garden behind the house, she suddenly heard unexpected music. It filled the night air as if it had only been waiting for Maggie's footsteps. Strange music, a carnival mixture of bells, pipes, and drums, both boisterous and sad. Maggie wouldn't have been surprised to find a whole troupe of fairground entertainers waiting for her on the lawn behind Eleanor's house, but only Dustfinger stood there. He was waiting where Maggie had found him that afternoon. The music came from a cassette recorder on the grass beside the wooden deck chair. Dustfinger had placed a garden bench on the edge of the lawn for his audience. Lighted torches were stuck into the ground to the right and left of it, and two more were burning on the lawn, casting quivering shadows into the night. The shadows danced across the grass like servants conjured up by Dustfinger from some dark world for this occasion. He himself stood there, bare-chested, his skin as pale as the moon, which is hanging in the sky right above Eleanor's house, as if it, too, had turned up especially for Dustfinger's show. When Maggie emerged from the darkness, Dustfinger bowed to her. "Sit down, pretty lady," he called over the music. "We were all just waiting for you." Shyly, Maggie sat down on the bench and looked around her. The two dark glass bottles she had seen in Dustfinger's bag were standing on the deck chair. Something whitish shimmered in the bottle on the left, as if Dustfinger had filled it with moonlight. A dozen torches with white wadding heads were wedged between the wooden rungs of the chair, and beside the cassette recorder stood a bucket and a large, big-bellied vase, which, if Maggie remembered correctly, came from Eleanor's entrance hall. For a moment she let her eyes wander to the windows of the house. There was no light in Mo's bedroom. He was probably still working. But one floor below, Maggie saw Eleanor standing at her lighted window. The moment Maggie looked her way, she drew the curtain, as if she had felt Maggie watching her. But she still stayed at the window. Her shadow was a dark outline against the pale yellow curtain. "Do you hear how quiet it is?" Dustfinger switched off the recorder. The silence of the night fell on Maggie's ears, muffled as if by cotton wool. Not a leaf moved. There was nothing to be heard but the torches crackling and the chirping of the crickets. Dustfinger switched the music back on. "I had a private word with the wind," he said. "There's one thing you should know. If the wind takes it into its head to play with fire, then even I can't tame the blaze. But it gave me its word of honor to keep still tonight and not spoil our fun." So saying, he picked up one of the torches from Eleanor's deck chair. He sipped from the bottle with the moonlight in it, and spat something whitish out into the big vase. Then he dipped the torch he was holding into the bucket, took it out again, and held its dripping head of wadding to one of its burning sisters. The fire flared up so suddenly it made Maggie jump. However, Dustfinger put the second bottle to his lips, filling his mouth until his scarred cheeks were bulging. Then he took a deep, deep breath, arched his body like a bow, and spat whatever was in his mouth out into the air above the burning torch. A fireball hung over Eleanor's lawn, a bright, blazing globe of fire. It ate away at the darkness like a living thing, and it was so big Maggie felt sure everything around it would go up in flames. The grass, the deck chair, and Dustfinger himself. But he just kept spinning around and around on the spot, exuberant as a dancing child, breathing out more fire. He made the fire climb high in the air as if to set light to the stars. Then he lit a second torch and ran its flame over his bare arms. He looked as happy as a child playing with a pet animal. The fire licked his skin like something living, a darting, burning creature that he had befriended, a creature that caressed him and danced for him and drove the night away. He threw the torch high in the air when the fireball had just been blazing, caught it as it came down, lit more, juggled with 3, 4, 5 torches. Their fire whirled around him, danced with him, but never hurt him. Dustfinger, the tamer of flames, the man who breathed sparks, the friend of fire. He made the torches disappear as if the darkness had devoured them, bowed to the speechless Maggie with a smile, before once more spitting fire out into the night's black face.